Dear Bishop Nkea, I've listened to you on video and you are asking our children to go back to school. And you are using your position in this particular moment to propagate the agenda of Cameroon, an agenda that has turned both the Amazonian and Cameroonian peoples into objects of ridicule, an agenda that has turned a man who owes his position to a more powerful supreme power to ridicule. I listened to you and I thought of the first non-Italian Pope. Before Pope John Paul II became the Pope, there had been no other non-Italian Pope for more than 455 years. He stood up bravely for his country, Poland. He spoke out against Nazism. He spoke out and stood firm against materialism. He spoke out firmly against the downside of communism. He championed different causes across the globe. Despite his own limitations as a mortal, he showed bravery in the face of tyranny. I think about another brave preacher who sat in a Birmingham jail when he was taunted by other preacher men. And he wrote a famous letter from the Birmingham jail, making it absolutely clear that it is not the resistance, it is not the protest that is responsible for the actions of the government of the United States. Think about Desmond Tutu, who stood firm against apartheid and said famously, in times like the present, those who assume a position of neutrality side with evil. Bishop Nkea, you have not even been bold to be neutral. You have taken the position of the devil that has been responsible for the lives of hundreds of thousands of people, the devil that holds in custody under degrading human conditions thousands of Amazonians. You have not had the backbone to speak out publicly in strong terms against the occupation of the school in Nazarene New Church. Few weeks back, Pastor Mbakwa was murdered. No video of yours was seen speaking like a man whose power comes from a supreme being far immortal than us. Today morning in Bamenda, another pastor was kidnapped. Thousands of our people bundled into military trucks, transported by the occupier to different detention centers. All of them will be extorted. You have not uttered a word. You have constantly come out to relay the position of the butchers of our people. You do not believe in the education of our children. You are an advocate of the intoxication that has been their lot for the past 63 years. You are not brave enough to take a firm position against the illegal occupation of our land and the consequences of that occupation. You have treated the occupation and its consequences as simply some political palaver between, I guess, David and Goliath. Mr. Bishop Nkea, moments like these in history calls for men like yourself to speak out for justice or shut the hell up. I can assure you that history will not be kind to all these videos, the utterances, the hypocrisy which you have shown for more than 40 years. One of the oldest men, one of the greatest killers in the continent, have held power in Cameroon. The consequences of his rule on education, on the economy, on politics, on the creation of world, has bedeviled every part of our society, including the denominations. He is more than 90 years of age, and we are still afraid to speak out against this butcher, to call for his termination and the end of his policies of impunity. You've never uttered a word against the continuous illegal kidnapping of Patasan. You've never spoken against the constant psychological trauma that Barrister Eyambe is going through. Another teacher, Professor Awasum, is in jail. You've never spoken out. But you are quick to step out to be the relay man for the politics of asphyxiation and intoxication that has haunted our lives for 63 years. Let me make this solemn promise to you. This generation will write the last chapter of this regime, and all those who in their actions or omissions have enabled the killings, the burning of villages, the torture, the deprivation, the intoxication, and the humiliation of an entire people. This is a promise I make to you and all men like yourself.